What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you, and I am ready to follow up on the last video I made where I ranked every single Kiss album cover. You can check that out by clicking the link up above. But now it's time to go track by track, album by album, and cover this Kiss discography, ranking it one by one. And today we are starting with their self-titled debut. And without further ado, rolling right into it, from worst to best is Love Theme from Kiss. Not a lot to it, just kind of a filler track that's there. It had to go in worst because it's really just sitting there on the album. Coming in at number 9, and this is the hardest part about ranking these first few albums, is trying to separate the studio versus the alive version. Because there's some versions of Alive that I love, but I don't really care for the studio version as much because it doesn't pack as much punch, doesn't have the same vibe, energy, and that ties into a few of these on here, with Firehouse being my next one. Again, you have to separate yourself from Alive. On the studio album, it's a little slow, doesn't pack the energy, you don't feel that Kiss vibe that you get, it just kind of drudges on. It's not a bad song, but compared to the live, compared to the rest of the album, it just doesn't hit the same. Which brings me to number 8, which is another one that's one of my all-time favorites. But on the studio version, that's the problem with these first few albums, is they don't have that punch that they were able to get with Alive, that they tried to do in Hotter Than Hell that didn't come out right. So some of the songs that are the top of these studio albums aren't on Alive, and some of the lowest songs on these studio albums are on Alive and make them amazing. So it's just kind of how they stack in those early years. But Cold Gin, I love Cold Gin. It hits heavy when you hear it live. Hearing Pantera and Skid Row do it, it's a fantastic cover. A lot of energy. I love playing it on guitar. But again, it's just a lot of the story with this first album that you can compare to Alive, it just drones on. Going to number 7, which was a publicity song that was supposed to be a radio contest that they did where people around the world would kiss, and I don't remember what you won, but I've read that it was for that. And it's Kissin' Time, and it is a cover. And it's not bad. It's just a little poppy hit that they threw on the album. It's not bad. It's a filler track, and it kind of separates a good divide line between the really good tracks and the ones that are subpar on this album. Going to number 6, which I have as Strutter. First song that pops off. I really thought, it blows my mind that that's the opening track of the album, the first you ever hear a Kiss. Solid song, makes me always think of Guitar Hero 2. The first Kiss CD I bought, that was the first song that played on it. It's got that good rhythm, got that good harmony in the background. Everything's solid and tight about this song, no complaints. But my top 5 are just on a different level, and number 5 is 100,000 Years. It's got some of that crunch to it. The other songs that you can compare to the live versions, they lack that crunch. This one can stand alone with the crunch of it. You can feel the energy. It hits right. Number 4 is Nothing to Lose. Great riff, fun to play, sounds just as good on the studio album. Who don't want to talk about a little boo-foo? All in all, great. It translates well. It's one of those songs that it doesn't have to have so much energy. You got Peter Criss coming through hard. It doesn't have to have that live version for that one to be picked up and sound good. But we're down to my top 3. That means we're between Black Diamond, Deuce, and Let Me Know. But coming in at number 3 is Let Me Know. And that is the song where you get the first little hear of that. And coming in at number 3 is Let Me Know. And that's the first song where you get to hear that Ace Frehley lick, that bam, now. It comes from this one. After they do a nice little harmony at the end of the song, you get that solo, you get that iconic sound. But this one, the whole band is vibing together in this one. They sound great, they play great, everything is synced up. It is a tight song, and it's one of those that I wish you would hear live. I would love to hear that song live. It is catchy, it is fun, they fit together, they mesh together. You'd have that solo at the end fit so perfectly. I really enjoyed this song studio. I'd love to hear it live. Black Diamond and Deuce. But who's going to take the Deuce spot? Black Diamond. Heavy song, hits in the studio just like it does live. They harmonize well. It's got that intro. Paul Stanley sounds good. It's brutal, it's heavy. You get that crunch, that crash that you want from a Kiss song. But it does not match what I think should have been the opening track of this album, Deuce. That riff, they get that, I can just see them doing the head bob on stage just thinking about the song and the rhythm and the sound of it. They play so good, it matches the energy of what you want from Kiss. Top notch. It could be studio, could be live. That song goes hard. If you add explosions into it, great. If you take it in as how they recorded it, great. It's fast, it's heavy, it's fun, it's got the riffs, it's got the singing, it's got everything you want from Kiss. High energy, good crunch, beautiful song. That is my number one. But please let me know down below what your ranking of this album is, because I'm really curious to hear how people stack up and how people feel. I feel like I have some big winners that are really low that a lot of people would have up high. So let me know down below. Let me know if you like this series. I plan on going forward with all the albums, putting the songs in line, how I like them, how I think they should have gone, my favorites, worst to best, maybe someday rank all the albums, who knows. Put it down below what you guys want to see. Comment, like, subscribe, share this, man. Go check out Sean Blumenshine. I did a podcast with him. He's a huge Kiss fan. He also has reviews of these albums, and he knows way more than I do. So go give him a follow. He's linked down below. Thank you guys for the support. Peace.